Hey everyone, it's Tracy Martirana here from Holistic Wellness with Tracy. Welcome to my living room. I don't know about you, but when fall begins to roll around, I start looking around my house and I realize how much I did not clean all summer long. Normally, I consider myself a pretty good housekeeper. The house is usually clean. I have a routine. Not like a standard set routine of I must clean this every day, but I notice things when they're not clean and I can't really relax until they are. So normally I keep up on the housework. I keep up on the dusting and the vacuuming and the scrubbing and all the stuff. But when summer rolls around, I get busy. I get, let's say, not really lazy, but I want to spend my time outside, not inside. And when I'm not inside, for one, I don't have time to clean the house when I'm outside. But also, when I'm not in the house, I don't notice how dirty and grimy it's getting. So while, yes, my kitchen and my bathroom, things like that, stay clean, the dust has built up all over my house. I noticed the other day that I could see on my bookshelves the dust. I could see it on the blinds, and I thought, oh gosh, I really have to do something about this. So while the weather is still decent and I can open up some windows to clean some windows that I also noticed were pretty grimy, I'm going to get a little bit of fall cleaning done. Now, I know right off, this type of video is not for everybody. So if it's not for you, go find one of my other videos to watch that. But a lot of people like me can get a lot of enjoyment and entertainment, one, out of watching people clean their house. I don't know what that is. It's something nice about sitting on my couch watching somebody clean on my phone. I don't know. Maybe it's a sickness, but I know there's other people that like it because there's a lot of clean with me kind of videos out there. So I know it's a thing and it's not just me. Also, there's a thing called body doubling where when you have someone to clean with or to talk to while you're cleaning, you can get more done. Like you'll stick with it longer, you'll do more. So I encourage you, if that is you, put this on the TV, put it on your iPad, let your phone just play off in the sideline while you grab some cloths and start cleaning your own house. So come along and clean with me, or skip this video and watch another, whatever you choose. I'm planning on cleaning in a couple different segments. So it's evening now here. I'm going to spend probably a good hour or so cleaning my living room and my dining room, getting everything dusted and mopped, get the windows and the blinds and all of that stuff clean. Then tomorrow I will probably focus on my bedroom because that's the other place where bedrooms just get dusty fast, no matter how much you try to stay on top of it. So I need to get I need to get my bedroom cleaned up. And then I'll probably just pop around the house and look for a couple other things that might need to be cleaned, like maybe a few windows. I noticed my kitchen windows and the window and the door that we come in and out really grimy. So I'm going to clean those. Grab your cleaning stuff. Let's get to it. I'm a big fan of minimalism, and as I've minimalized many of my belongings over the years, one of the biggest benefits that I have noticed is how easy it makes cleaning. The issue I always had with cleaning was having to move a bunch of stuff out of the way first, having to take care of random items before I could even start cleaning, or having to dust around a ton of stuff on cluttered surfaces. But when you don't have all of those items to work around, cleaning is much easier. Now, I try not to keep a lot of stuff around the house, but there are two rooms in which I have a particularly hard time getting rid of things. The first is my favorite room in my house, and that is my library. That room will always be full because, I need all the books. But the second room is my living room, and honestly, this room isn't cluttered by any stretch of the imagination, but I did notice as I was recording this that all of the plants and the pictures and the tchotchkes on these bookshelves, they make it a little more cumbersome to clean, a little bit more cumbersome than I would like. So I might just have to consider doing another pass through the living room to declutter a little bit more. But let's talk about the actual cleaning going on here. Now, my favorite way to clean windows is with a wet rag and my fancy Norwex cleaning cloth. The rag is just wet with water. I don't use any chemicals. I don't use any Windex, anything like that. So just a wet rag that does a great job of cleaning away all the dirt and the grime on the window. And then that fancy window cloth dries it without any streaks. So it's no fuss, no muss. The window cloth is expensive. I bought this one from Norwex for something like $25, which I think is crazy now because you can find much cheaper versions of this that work just as well. But since I already spent my $25, I am going to use this one until it falls apart. And I don't mean to diss Norwex. I have used several of their products and they are good. I just think they're way overpriced. Sorry, Norwex. And then I wonder, does anyone have a better method for cleaning blinds? Overall, I'm not a fan of using these disposable Swiffer dusters. They just seem wasteful to me, and I prefer to do most of my dusting like I'm doing here on the bookshelf with just a damp cloth because I feel that actually works the best to remove dust from most surfaces. But when it comes to the blinds, I don't know, this is the easiest method I've found. I turn the blinds one direction and dust the back of them, as best as possible with my fluffy Swiffer duster, and then turn the blinds to the other direction to do the other side. I let the blinds get a little bit dustier than I normally do, and they still came out pretty good with this duster, but it just seems like there must be, I don't know, either an easier or a better way. Now, if you are noticing my fancy, and I am using quotes there when I say fancy cordless vacuum, this is not a crazy expensive Dyson or Shark. This is a much cheaper version that I found on Amazon and decided to try because I just couldn't justify spending several $100s on a little stick vacuum. And I love this one. I think it works surprisingly well on my hardwoods and my tiled floors, and it's great for like quick pickups on my rugs. I did still keep my bigger canister vacuum to do like deeper vacuuming of my rugs every now and then, but if you are thinking about getting one of these little vacuums, I will leave the link to this one that I'm using down in the description box. The battery life isn't the greatest, and I don't know if I could actually vacuum my entire house on one charge, but I don't usually clean that way. I typically do a couple rooms at a time, or maybe take it upstairs and do upstairs or just downstairs. So it hasn't been an issue for me. So if you're interested, please check it out. I do recommend this one. It has been working really great for me. And then I am dust mopping my floors here. So I'm using this Swiffer mop thing that I bought many years ago. I don't actually buy like the disposable things for it. I have one that I bought for mopping that has Velcro on it, so you get it wet, you put a little cleaning solution on it if you want, and then it just wraps around the Swiffer mop, and then you use it to dust mop the floors and throw it in the washing machine and reuse it. It's great. I highly recommend those if you happen to have a Swiffer that you bought and you're looking maybe to try to be a little bit more environmentally friendly. You can even just use like a cloth, wet the cloth, wrap the cloth around it, and kind of poke it down into the little holes that you poke it down into to hold it there. I don't know what they're called, but there are options to sort of take those disposable products and find ways to use them that is a little bit more sustainable. And like I said earlier, I'm just doing all my dusting with a wet rag. So it's just, I wet it in water, I rinse it out really well. Occasionally I will use like a homemade dusting spray, and I will link an old video I made of my cleaning products that I use. Sometimes I use my dusting spray, sometimes I just use a little spray of like my all-purpose cleaner that I use, which is just a very diluted Sales Suds. And a lot of times though I just use water, and today I'm just using water. On the mop that I'm using on my floor, I actually had picked up a while back some hardwood floor cleaner. I think it was by Method. So I'm using that here. A lot of times, again, I will just use water. Sometimes I will use Murphy's oil soap. I like that as well. So the living room is finished, and I'm going to just move on to the dining room. This is the last room that I'm going to clean tonight. I am just giving it some dusting again because that's what I've been failing at, is the dusting. I'm not going to clean this window. I'm going to do the blinds, but not the window. For some reason, that window just doesn't get very dirty, or maybe it just doesn't look dirty. I don't know, but the windows in the front of our house are very dirty, so I don't know what that is, if it has to do with the cars driving by, the way the wind blows. I'm not really sure, but these windows aren't dirty, so I'm not going to bother with it, because typically I do clean most of our windows. I would say all of them, but I'm sure I probably miss a couple in the spring. And the only reason I'm getting these ones is because I can noticeably see how dirty they are, and I know that cleaning them will make the house look cleaner. So the front living room windows, the kitchen windows, the door, there's just a handful that need to be done now. I'm not going to do the rest that aren't really noticeable. If it doesn't look dirty, don't clean it. And here I say I don't have a lot of stuff, and then I just looking around my dining room, We do have a lot of china. I will give you that. My husband had china from his family. I have china from my family. So when we got married, we ended up with a lot of china. And of course, it's all sentimental, so you can't get rid of it. Or maybe you could. I don't know. We might have to think about that someday. So I am spreading this fall cleaning out over a couple of days. I don't have a whole day to spend a whole day just cleaning the house. So I'm giving it maybe 2 or 3 days, an hour or so each day to work on it. Yesterday, or last night actually it was, I did the living room and the dining room. This morning I am doing the bedroom because, again, that's just another place that gets very dusty. And I'm sort of almost pre-dusting with this Swiffer to get like the bulk of the dust, and then I'm going to come back through with my wet cloth to get the rest of it. I'm also trying to get underneath my bed because, underneath the bed gets so gross. And I love this headboard, but cleaning it is like flossing your teeth. You have to get into all of these little crevices. So I end up with one hand on each side, sort of fishing the cloth between, flossing all the little crevices. And as I was cleaning underneath the bed, I found one of our missing dryer balls. So, it's always worth doing a little cleaning. You never know what you're going to find. And I'm doing my best to get underneath the bed. I can only pull the bed out so much. I do what I can. And then I'm out it's sort of at the top of our stairs in our upstairs hallway. There's this window. As you come up the stairs, you see this window. And I don't know if I forgot to clean these blinds in the spring because they were crazy dirty. I had to go over them a couple times. And now I'm moving on to day 3, the last day of my cleaning. The one thing I didn't film, I also did clean off. We have an enclosed front porch, so I cleaned that up a little bit as well. so that'll be ready for sitting out there as the weather gets a little chillier and we can't really sit outside. We can take our book and sit on the front porch. We have a little heater out there so we can use it once the weather gets cold. And then this is the door that we come in and out of all of the time. It was really gross, so I cleaned that up. I'm trying to really just focus on the dust and then the windows that we notice. So this is our little powder room, another window that you're face to face to when you walk into this room. So you notice when it's dirty. So I'm cleaning that up. And then I will move on to the windows in the kitchen, get that cleaned up a little bit. And then, you know what? I'm done. I'm taking a break. I'm calling it good enough for now. Thank you so much for joining me while I clean my house, getting ready for fall. It was fun for me to kind of bring you along. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope you got some cleaning done at your house, and I hope you aren't sort of like me thinking, I'm probably going to have to do this all over again when we get ready to get the Christmas decorations out. But it's what we do, right? Cleaning the house, it's never ending. And to me, it's important to have my home feel clean and comfortable. That's what I like. That's what makes it feel homey and nice to me. So therefore, I do it so that I can enjoy my home. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.